This episode of Pool Magazine Podcast is proudly sponsored by Aquamatic Cover Systems, the leaders in functional technology across an entire spectrum of swimming pool covers. Today, retractable pool covers are an important part of any pool project. Regardless of your needs or budget, if your concerns are safety, energy efficiency, pool cleanliness, evaporation control, or all the above, Aquamatic has you covered. To learn more about Hydrolux, our most advanced and adaptable automatic system, visit us on the web today at aquamatic.com.
Thanks for joining us on another episode of Pool Magazine Podcast. Frequently we spend a lot of time in a lot of the pool industry Facebook groups, and a really interesting post about EcoFinish recently popped up in Ask the Masters, a group where a lot of the top designers and pool builders hang out. Now, folks are interested in the product and have been asking around, trying to find some more information about whether it's a good solution, who's used it, and what the results were like. And personally, I know a lot of people in the pool industry, so I decided to reach out to my friend Jacob Tetrick, owner of Quality USA Pools. I know his firm specializes in EcoFinish installations, and I couldn't think of a better pool pro to ask about his firsthand experience using the product. It's a pleasure to have you with us today on the show, Jake.
Thanks for having me.
So listen, before we get started, I was hoping that you can give our audience a little bit of a backstory about Quality USA, what it is you guys specialize in, and what your firm is all about.
So I started Quality USA Pools about 4 years ago now because I had a bad experience at a pool store and wanted to provide better customer service. And along with that, to me, comes providing superior products. We specialize in new pool builds and remodels. So we build vinyl liner pools. We only use Alpha pool products for all of our panel systems. So we use their Evolution panels for our higher end pools. And then we use their Titan panels for the steel panel vinyl liner pools.
When did you first start looking at EcoFinish as a solution for your pool finish applications?
So I first started looking at it as I got more inquiries about if we do renovations or not. With the growing demand for people looking for resurfacing, there was also a need for a higher end pool that was done in a faster time frame and not as invasive in their yard, so to speak. And some people where I live in South Dakota, they do not like the idea of a full concrete pool. They don't like the price. There's big price differences. And a lot of times it's not always about the cheapest. They want to spend more money on a superior product. And so that's what really got me to looking at the different options. And I found EcoFinish by looking for ways that were the latest and greatest, so to speak, looking for superior products that I could put in with a minimal amount of employees. I know I'm not alone, not even just in the pool industry. We're not alone. Every industry in the country, for whatever reason, has a really, really hard time finding people to actually help do the work.
Yeah, staffing's a big issue right now. So this solution allows you to cut down on the employees that you have out on a job site?
Yeah. So even on a complicated resurfacing project where we have to chip out plaster and put a skim coat on a concrete pool that we're going to resurface, we can do it with 3 guys. It's a lot of work, but that's all we really need. More than that, and it just ends up kind of being a nightmare.
Well, what were some of the main features and benefits about this product that kind of drew you to it?
Well, who doesn't think playing with a flamethrower is cool? That was probably the thing that piqued my interest the most. And then aside from that, it's the fact that it doesn't fade in the sun. It's got a 10-year warranty. It's chemical resistant. All those things, they speak for themselves. When it's me looking at it going, okay, I want to provide the best possible products out there for the best possible price for me and for the customer. I want to make money, and I want to provide the customer with a good long-term solution that I don't have to have them calling me every 6 months because there's some sort of a problem.
Well, what has your experience been like using a product like this in comparison to some of the others you've tried out there?
My experience so far has been wonderful. I'm a fairly new installer. I got into being an EcoFinish installer about 1.5 years, almost 2 years ago now. And the best thing about it is how simple it is. As long as you follow their process and you do the prep right, you take your time and you apply the product properly, there's no issues. I have it on residential pools. We've done concrete pools. We've redone fiberglass pools. Fiberglass is a little bit more complicated just because of the fiberglass shell itself and the heat that the gun produces, but I've had no issues whatsoever. I've read the good and the bad about EcoFinish that's out there, and tell you right now, it's all in the installer. If you want it to be an awesome product like it really is, it can be. You just have to follow their process.
Well, how'd you learn the application process? Did you go in for like any special training with the manufacturer or anything like that?
It's actually EcoFinish actually has a very, very wonderful program. The guy that I've had come out, his name's Corey. He does wonderful. He over explains, he gets right in, and if you're doing something wrong, he actually shows you how to do it different. For me, I'm more of a learn as I do more than sit back and read a book. And probably a lot of people can relate to that. And that's probably the thing that I like the most about EcoFinish is it's hands-on as you want it to be. And it's no different than anything else. If you want it to work, you make it work. If you don't want it to work and you just want to blame this and blame that and not take responsibility yourself for doing it right or whatever, I mean, that's not going to work. But this is by far the most superior product that I've ran into, and ease of installing, it's wonderful.
I know a lot of guys learn best hands-on. It's great that EcoFinish has a rep that they send out there to supervise your installation and kind of give you all the pro tips to get you inundated in the product.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. They send you all kinds of literature. They bombard you with all this stuff. They have some very wonderful things that they've put together that help you to sell the product. Even the national sales manager is great. Anytime I ever have any questions, I can always get somebody on the phone. I can FaceTime them. I can show them exactly what it is that I'm having trouble with.
That's wonderful. That kind of support. I mean, you're in a small market kind of in South Dakota, and that they still give you that kind of attention says a lot about your relationship with them.
Yeah, it's like anything else. It costs money to get into. You got to buy the equipment and stuff, and you pay for some of the training. And as a person going and buying the stuff and spending the kind of money that it takes to get into it, you always wonder. But like I say, I can't say enough good things about them. They definitely come through and then some as far as support and training, and even down to ordering the products. If I need something last minute, it's there always.
All right, well, talk to me a little bit about the installation process. I mean, I've seen your photos on social media. Yeah, there's a flamethrower involved somehow. I mean, can you enlighten us a little bit about how the application process goes?
Yeah, so on a fiberglass shell, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to prep the shell. So we're either going to dustless blast it or we're going to sand it down. We're going to fix any blisters or any cracks or anything like that. And then we're going to come in and we're going to put a layer of epoxy down. We're going to let it tack up, and then we put the product, which is like a dust, is what it starts out as, into the machine, hook our air and stuff up to it and our LP, and start the flamethrower. And it's kind of a slower process or whatever. Each coat on average probably takes about an hour and a half, and it's really quite an amazing process because you're sitting there and you're shooting out a 4 or 5 foot flame out of a gun that's about 8-10 inches around, and it's hotter than heck. But when you see how fast it changes the surface of the pool, you can see your instant results. It's pretty amazing.
What's the homeowner reaction like, Jake, when you show up in their backyard with a flamethrower?
The customers that have a pool in their backyard are a lot more easygoing on it than the ones where we come to an indoor one. Everybody is always in awe of it, that you're going to use a flamethrower. And then when they see it, they're really in awe. And then when they see that they can touch it instantly, basically, it's being an instant cure product. I mean, within a few minutes, the whole shell of the pool is cooled back down and the product is hard already. And I mean, it's beyond words, the reactions that I get all the time from all of my customers, just because they can't get over how much different it is right away. And then for the people that have a concrete pool or a shotcrete or a gunite pool, it's even more amazing to them just because they don't have to worry about replastering their pool right away. And it just changes the look of it so much. Like a lot of times, like a lot of the plaster pools that I see up here, at least are a lighter color. And so a lot of my customers are going with darker finishes, and they're just over the moon excited about how wonderful it is.
Give us the elevator pitch, Jake. I mean, when you're explaining why a homeowner should consider getting an EcoFinish, what is it that you tell them? What does it do and how does it work?
So if I'm going to a customer that's getting a new pool, I simply explain the difference. Like I say, for me, it's either a vinyl liner or it's a composite panel, concrete bottom, EcoFinish pool. And so I explain the liners only last so long. Up here, we're seeing 3 to 7 years for liners is how long are they lasting. We get anywhere from $7,000 to $13,000 to replace a liner. Well, you add that up over the course of just the warranty on the EcoFinish alone, the 10-year warranty on the EcoFinish compared to replacing a liner twice, the difference in the price of the pool basically pays for itself. I hit the warranty part real hard. I hit them with that it doesn't fade in the sun. Liners fade. It's more of an eco-friendly coating. We're not taking a bunch of vinyl, making a bunch of waste. And the biggest thing is the evolution panels that I use from Only Alpha Pool products. They have a lifetime warranty on them too. You throw all that warranty stuff together, and I'm noticing it sells itself.
And for peace of mind, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And I actually have better luck selling for new pools. I have better luck selling the higher end pools than I do the lower end pools. And every day it amazes me. I sold a pool yesterday. Been talking to the guy for probably 2 months about a vinyl liner pool. And he said, "Hey, this pool that you're building for my buddy or whatever, what kind of pool is that? Is that one of your vinyl liner pools?" And I said, "No, that's one of our composite panel pools that gets the EcoFinish on it." And he goes, "Well, I don't even care how much more it is on price. That's what I want. I don't want a vinyl liner pool. That's the only thing that's been holding me back is I don't want to replace the liner."
Right. I get it. So, I mean, you were talking for a second about how the process is a little different on concrete pools versus fiberglass pools. Can you elaborate a little bit about that?
Yeah, so the fiberglass pools, the shell moves so much when it heats up, and so it almost pops and bangs at you, and it's kind of scary when you're doing it. You have to be really, really careful because you can actually wreck it. So we move around a lot. So we'll do like a 5x5 section on one side of the pool, and then we'll go to the other side and we'll do another small section, and we just keep moving around that way that it gives that shell a chance to cool back down before we go and hit it again with more heat. The concrete pools, we don't notice that near as much because we don't have the flimsiness, so to speak, of the fiberglass.
Yeah, it's really malleable, that fiberglass material.
Yeah, and I mean, that flame is 780 degrees coming out of that gun. I mean, it's hot. It's interesting, that's for sure.
Well, I mean, let me play devil's advocate for a minute. How long does it last, Jake?
Comes with a 10-year warranty. We're seeing it well outlast 15 years before it needs anything done to it. The coolest part about the product itself is so we put it on a concrete pool, and we all know concrete moves, it cracks, all that kind of stuff. We can come back after the fact and we can chase that crack. We can put staples in it. We can fill in the spot that we chased, and then we can turn the flamethrower back on and we can coat right back over it. You don't even know that we fixed it because it bonds to itself and it doesn't fade. So it's not like you have to go and completely redo the whole thing. Thankfully, I haven't ran into any of that yet or whatever, but I'm sure I will at some point in time. There's always problems with anything, no matter what we do. I know I get a lot of questions about, well, I read this about EcoFinish, or I watched this video about EcoFinish, and my response is always, there's good and bad with everything, but it comes down to the installer. One of the biggest things I use to my benefit is I only use superior products. I'm definitely not going to be the cheapest guy around. Hopefully I'm not the most expensive, but at the same time, hopefully I am. It's okay to make money and to sell a superior product. I always tell my clients that I can guarantee them two things: that I'm not going to be the cheapest guy, but I'm also going to use the best quality products that I can get my hands on. And not everybody can say that.
Well, I'm going to ask you this, Jake. The post on Ask the Masters was, I have a salesperson reaching out to me about the pros and cons of EcoFinish. Now, I'm familiar with Marsite, Quartz, Pebble, etc. I saw all the downfall of Rebound, but I've never heard of EcoFinish, honestly, and the customer's stuck on it as his previous pool had an EcoFinish. Any experience? I'm curious just to further my knowledge base. What would you say to this guy?
I would say that the EcoFinish is probably comparable to a Pebble type finish, but the ease of application alone, as a builder, I don't understand why every single builder in the country wouldn't say, I want to do that. And when you got a customer that's already had an experience with it, and a wonderful experience, to a certain extent, you gotta give the customer what they want. And if you go and you do your own research with an open mind about a new product, it's amazing what you can learn about how wonderful EcoFinish really is.
Well, I appreciate that, Jake. Honestly, thanks so much for taking the time out today to join us on the show and share your experience and expertise with using EcoFinish. I know there's a lot of pool contractors out there who've been interested in learning more about the product And hearing your firsthand experience is sure to be pretty helpful in their decision-making process.
Yeah, thank you for your time as well. I really appreciate it.
That's all the time we have left today. Make sure to like, subscribe, follow, and we'll catch you next time on another episode of Pool Magazine Podcast.
This episode of Pool Magazine Podcast is proudly sponsored by Aquamatic Cover Systems, the leaders in functional technology across an entire spectrum of swimming pool covers. Today, retractable pool covers are an important part of any pool project. Regardless of your needs or budget, if your concerns are safety, energy efficiency, pool cleanliness, evaporation control, or all the above, Aquamatic has you covered. To learn more about Hydrolux, our most advanced and adaptable automatic system, visit us on the web today at aquamatic.com.